Hi, it's Mrs. Bustamante, and we are continuing with photochemical smog. We're going to really talk about how we can reduce smog in this one by the reduction of nitrogen oxides and VOCs, and then how it affects human health in a couple different ways. So most of the ways that it affects human health is really on the respiratory system, meaning shortness of breath, wheezing, coughing, asthma attacks, chest pain, inhaling increased risk of respiratory disease, pulmonary inflammation, increased risk of heart attack, and on your eyes. Sometimes it can cause burning eyes, throat, irritated mucous membranes, right? And long term, what can these lead to? Stroke, depression, heart attack, cardiovascular disease, asthma, lung cancer, bronchitis, skin cancer, even damage to your nervous system, right? So smog can have some pretty challenging side effects on the human body. And yes, you should know and be able to list those and explain why those are important and how they happen based on smog. So how can we reduce photochemical smog? Well, really we need to reduce the production of anthropogenic VOCs and NOxes, right? Those human sources that cause the development of smog, right? But we want to be more specific than that, right? We want to talk about how we could drive less because we know that lots of our NOxes and our VOCs come from cars. So by driving less, what does that mean? Well, we bike, we walk, we carpool, we use public transportation whenever we're possible, right? Because that's higher efficiency for moving lots of people. We have to take care of our cars, right? Get regular tune-ups, change the oil on schedule, inflate the tires to the proper level so we can improve gas mileage and reduce emissions, like make sure our car is running the best way it can, and actually just fueling up during cooler hours, either early in the morning or at nighttime. Because when we do that, we're exposing gas fumes, right? And when those gas fumes, when we do it at a warm part of the day, they can heat up, and we know that contributes to the production of ozone. Avoiding products that release high levels of VOCs. For example, use low VOC paints instead of high VOC paints. And then avoid gas-powered yard equipment like lawnmowers. Use electric appliances instead, or this nifty bike mower over here, or even a handheld bike mower, right? So a lot of places we check for things that would contribute to smog. California has made great improvements here on testing emissions, particularly of cars, to make sure that they're only producing what they should and producing not more than a certain level. So this is their smog check, what they use to check how a car is running, and you can see the different levels of things that they check. But really what they're doing is they're starting to put some sensors up on the freeways and ramps kind of randomly to try and analyze exhaust emissions from cars just passing by. So they take a kind of like a red light, right, or a speeding camera that we have around town here somewhere, and as a device that emits an ultraviolet and infrared beam, and that can gather information about the emissions from the car exhaust as it goes through, and take a picture of the license plate, right? And then if your car is not meeting the standards, right, they can notify you or fine you, and hopefully get you to get your car in working order so it makes less pollutants.